Hi, my name is Tina Johnston. I used the grounded theory methodology to do my PhD in 2006. I was a math education major at Oregon State University and worked with Barney Glaser as well as all of my colleagues who also use grounded theory for the past 17 years. I was named a Grounded Theory Fellow and have worked with the Grounded Theory Institute and with Dr. Helen Scott with Grounded Theory online since 2006. And during that time, I've helped students better understand grounded theory by participating in person to person troubleshooting seminars, online troubleshooting seminars, one to one tutoring, conference presentations, and most recently, Coffee Connect, which is a Zoom meeting we have once a month. Helen holds, I think, 2 or 3 time zones, and I am in charge of the West Coast time zone, where we just chat about grounded theory and its intricacies and how to better understand and use the methodology. And then, in order to better connect with people and to help perpetuate Dr. Glaser's um, methodology for the future, I've decided to start this YouTube channel so that we can address some of the intricacies of grounded theory, help make it clearer for students attempting to use grounded theory, and to help understand some of the ways that you can get derailed, some of the ways that make it confusing, or some of the reasons it's confusing, and just an overall place to come get some help and to figure things out. Now, as part of this channel, I'm going to do a series where I work through the books of grounded theory, provide you with some historical background. Um, Definitely leave me questions in the comments below because I will address those as videos and or hold a live session where we can do some live time talking and or give you the opportunity to come on to Coffee Connect and talk about your issues. So, with that, I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is what is grounded theory? Grounded theory is simply a theoretical research method that seeks and documents how a targeted group works to constantly resolve their main concern. It's a sociological method. Um, Even the most divergent grounded theory sort of sticks to this. They don't really focus or pivot on the main concern as much, but in the kind of grounded theory that I have done my whole life, classic grounded theory is often what it is called. Um, that is a major sort of pivot point, is constantly working to resolve a main concern. And I find that often students become confused because they seek the answer to their main concern instead of looking to the population that they have focused on and seek the main concern that is amongst that population, not their own, or not the one that they read in their lit review, etc. Why is grounded theory needed or necessary? From a historical perspective, Glaser and Strauss began their study of dying in hospitals in 1966. They developed 3 publications out of that study, 3 different theories um, that documented the concern that from different perspectives, but this concern or this worry about people dying and the focus of that or the lack of focus on that. One of the main issues that Dr. Glaser found was that patients were not informed that they were terminal, and that created a action and reaction to the concern that they were terminal. You can read these, and I will present discussions of these theories in future videos. But all all grounded theories are documenting behaviors that pivot from a main concern. Um, Now, the reason Glaser and Strauss sort of created studies using this methodology is one, based on their history. Dr. Glaser came out of studying under Dr. Merton in Columbia University in New York, and Strauss studied studied at the University of Chicago, I believe, under Lazerfield. Both of these researchers were theoreticians. They developed quantitative research. Well, the Chicago School used qualitative data to do qualitative theorizing. Uh, Dr. Glaser worked with a department that developed quantitative research theories that were then turned into surveys. Both were useful, and together the two of them were a great mind to put together because both wanted to increase the rigor of theoretical methodologies. Um, at least from Dr. Glaser's perspective, because I had the opportunity to talk to him many times, he was very concerned with the fact that these surveys were created not because they went out and found behaviors in the population. A survey was created from whoever the originator of that survey was. They made a bunch of materials, they put questions together, and then they would go out and do the work of checking and seeing the reliability and validity of these instruments. But that step back to the theory wasn't really addressed. It was just somebody sitting and making up questions. So Dr. Glaser wanted to improve that, and therefore grounded theory was born. So before we can get on to this series of videos, we have to address the elephant in the room, and that is there are other kinds of grounded theories. Now, if you talk to Dr. Glaser, which I did many times, if you talk to some of Dr. Glaser's students, I am one of which I am. There's only one grounded theory, and that is what is commonly known as classic grounded theory. Most of us just call it grounded theory. The only time we throw in the classic is when we are speaking to a broader audience, just for clarity's sake. Very often when you read, especially mainstream research journals, you will see a variety of grounded theories because the methodology has such grab, as Dr. Glaser would have said. Very often, bits and pieces of grounded theory are used to help a student sort data, especially qualitative data. And they will borrow terminology from grounded theory just because it sounds good. And then in the ultimate result, they will say, I use phenomenology with grounded theory. And that cannot exist. If you are using grounded theory, you are using grounded theory. It is a complete methodology. You can do phenomenology with the data that you have gathered to do a grounded theory study, and you can do a separate study. But to use those two as one and then create a theory is not a proper use of grounded theory. This term I call blended GT, and it is a grounded theory mixed with other methods thrown together and then written up. Not a grounded theory. There is constructivist grounded theory, and I'm actually going back in time here. I'm talking about the most modern incidences of grounded theory back to the original. Constructivist grounded theory was developed by Kathy Charmaz. She worked in the field of education, therefore you see a lot of constructivist grounded theory in this field. Every instance of a constructivist grounded theory, I find the end result is very much linked to the data or the stories of the qualitative data that constructivist grounded theory was drawn from. Dr. Glaser and Strauss's original intentions were not to keep a theory grounded in data. That is because Glaser worked in quantitative data analysis, and therefore he really wanted to lift up theories and take them out of the stories and develop theories that were incidences of behavior that very well might be able to be applied into other fields. So constructivist grounded theory is very much a story-driven grounded theory-esque methodology. Strauss and Corbin. Strauss and Corbin, late after Glaser and Strauss developed the discovery of grounded theory, after the three death and dying theories were published, Dr. Dr. Strauss and Corbin, or Strauss and his grad student, Dr. Corbin, developed a grounded theory book, methodology book, that I think the intentions were, I would like to hope, the intentions were to make grounded theory clearer. Um, I have read, I'm going to show you the original book. So this is the original book, The Discovery of Grounded Theory. It is not an easy read. And this methodology was very young at this point, and I do think that Dr. Glaser definitely developed and made clearer the methodology over time. But when Strauss and Corbin released their book, um, Dr. Glaser released a counterbook, quickly wrote a counterbook and released it, and discussed why he felt like that book was inappropriate. Um, I found it very formulaic. I don't feel like working with qualitative data and developing theory lends itself well to a formulaic methodology. However, there are people who like to have the steps laid out for them. Um, Using a formulaic grounded theory, though, is not always helpful in one, coming to the truth of the situation and really really identifying what's going on, because you may or may not have um, you follow these steps and you may miss very important aspects of the behaviors of the population. You also may very well miss the main concern because you're going off looking at patterns. It's almost like taking a lump of qualitative data, throwing it into a piece of software, and doing a word search. Yeah, you're going to get the words and you're going to get the incidences that these words show up, but in the process, you may miss the a thematic trajectory that, because it was just a formulaic word search, you didn't get to see. So that is the issue, or the potential issue, with using the Glaser and Strauss methodology. As you can tell, I'm partial to the original grounded theory, or classic grounded theory, developed mostly in the beginning, by Glaser and Strauss, and continued to be developed for years and years by Dr. Glaser. It is a very organic methodology, but by no means are there are clear guidelines, and there are clear, we'll call them procedures, to follow to develop a theory or to discover a theory in data, as long as you hold to the most important pieces of the methodology. And over the next several months, I'm going to take one topic at a time and we're going to talk about that. I will take one book at a time and we'll talk about that. Now, I am an expert, yes, or I'm considered an expert. Will I get everything perfectly correct? I'm sure not. Will my colleagues agree with everything I say? Absolutely not. That is part of the joy of a methodology that is alive and well and being applied. However, definitely leave comments below and let me know how I can help you. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have topics for videos that you'd like to see, let me know. And we'll let this channel evolve as needed. Now, if you want to make sure and not miss any of these videos, please subscribe, ring the bell, because then you'll be notified when a new video goes up. I will probably not be able to do this on a regular basis. At most, it will be once a month. I do have another job that I do and another YouTube channel that I have to maintain. Maybe two. So I'll do the best I can. And I will see you in a few weeks to discuss the next topic in the Classic Grounded Theory or Grounded Theory series. Bye.